Hi, my name is Nicholas Johnson. This is Rapid Set Mortar Mix, and we are in the Space Warehouse. Today we're going to be pouring a base for a statue, but not just any base. It's going to have a little embossed logo of the Space Mountain on the front of it. My wife's mom and dad met while working at Disney World in like the 1970s. I might be getting that wrong. In like the 1980s. I don't know. Super long time ago. They met at Space Mountain. They both worked there. Sarah and her dad both have this same statue they got at the...
Making a FaceTime audio call to Sarah Hazelwood.
What was the name of the Frank Lloyd Wright building that you got your statue from?
Taliesin East.
Taliesin East. Sarah and T-Daddy were over at Taliesin East, and they both got this same statue to commemorate her mom, his wife, Cheryl. Sarah's got this statue in the backyard, and it's kind of wobbly. The bottom's not big enough, and it's in front of like a big bush thing. So I'm making a nice sturdy base, and I wanted to emboss a logo of where they met. So that's what we're working on. We're using melamine board for the form because concrete mix, or this is mortar mix, doesn't stick to this vinyled white surface. Even though I hate this as a wood product. I think this stuff is crap. This is the stuff that if you have a really cheap computer desk, that's what it's usually made out of. I'll show you how this is made, and let's get back over to the house and get that thing put together. I found an old Space Mountain logo. I just used the Xcarve's easel software, Inventables easel software. You get to visualize what it'll look like and everything. I'm engraving it, so in the concrete it's going to be embossed, is that the right word? And the concrete is going to stick out with the logo of Space Mountain. A little quiet shout out to Cheryl Hazelwood. So even though I have the little vacuum attachment for my Xcarve, this whole thing gets really dusty, so I have installed a super long USB cord. It can be extra far away so they don't get dust, and I don't get dust in my keyboard. I am in the easel software, and it is actually super easy. It tells you everything you need to do. Measure the exact thickness, make sure it's a 1/2 inch. Confirm, 1/2 inch. Confirm that it's clamped down, it sure is. Confirm your bit. Actually, I don't know what's in there. You use these little buttons. Have a 90-degree bit. Now it wants you to move the work to the 0 spot. That's right on the corner of the piece of wood. Turn the vacuum on, turn the spindle on, it's going to get really loud, not going to be able to hear anything. Fun fact, with the computer controller thing on, this is like sturdy and solid. Once you pull the power off, then you can just push this stuff out of the way. So now we have this lovely Space Mountain. Now that the creative portion is out of the way, it's really just simply sticking this form together. I'm drilling pilot holes just because, I don't know, this stuff is crumbly. I don't want it to fall apart. I am really not a fan of this material just in general, because it's crappy. But this surface doesn't stick to concrete when it dries, so this will come apart and it'll come away and it'll be real smooth. I know it should go without saying, but it doesn't. Put the design onto the inside. So this is the spot. It's gonna like go in this clearing in front of this bush thing. I'm not too concerned about it being level on the bottom. It's gonna be like gooey enough when I pour it that it'll level itself out. Change it, if that makes sense. Okay, so just to make sure we have everything, 2 quarts of water, half this bag, mixing device. I've got a bucket. I have a spare bucket that's full of water to clean stuff with. I've got the form ready and in place. Drone overhead to get a top-down shot. And I've got camera 2 over there. So it's just so important to have everything in place. I think I'm gonna start with a little bit of the water. Half the water. Oh dear. Oh. And we're already out of control, but that's okay. Maybe we'll just make more than we need. Rest of the water. It does seem soupy enough to me. Uh-oh. Woo. Well, that is not soupy enough, is it? Let's see if we can vibrate it into place. Still stuff we can do. Let's make the second batch. Okay, hold on. I'm editing this now, and I wanted to pause the video to talk about something really quick. Obviously, I used way too much water, but I'm gonna tell you why that's not super bad in this one specific case. I'm using Rapid Set Mortar Mix, and it has a strength of 6,500 PSI. The statue only weighs like 35 pounds, and it's spread out over a 9x9 inch base. 81 square inches, even if we'll call it 40 pounds, divided by 81 square inches, we're at less than a pound per square inch. So to simplify a actually strangely complicated process, when you think of concrete as drying, it's not drying, it's actually chemically reacting, it's curing. And when you put too much water in the mix, it messes up with the chemical reactions. Less of them happen, or they happen they happen too far apart, whatever, the concrete gets weaker. But it gets weaker, like, predictably so, I guess. So, like, as you add more water, it gets more weak. Basically, it could never be so weak that it can't hold a 35-pound statue. According to my internet research, I did this in a way that's gonna work fine. We're in Florida, it's never gonna freeze and thaw and crack, which is another problem that you'll run into if you mix your concrete the way I've mixed my concrete. Yes, I recognize I did that terribly wrong. But in this specific case, it's not the end of the world, and it's gonna hold up and be perfectly fine. Okay, see how all these bubbles are coming to the surface? That might take 2 days to dry. Got a little bit of, it's just silicone caulk. It actually does work pretty well as glue. I'm gonna put just a glop of this stuff in the middle. Pretty easy to see the footprint of this thing, so. All right. So in this particular case, it resulted in a super smooth surface. It is going to be weaker than it would otherwise have been, but that won't matter at all. And this color separation, although accidental, is actually really nice. It looks like a horizon over the Space Mountain. And there you have it, a nice looking base that is built on uneven ground, but perfectly level and smooth on the top, holding up this statue and making for a a wonderful little piece of the lawn. What's next? I'm wearing shorts today.